Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It is Tuba Player NegativeAE, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, we had just kind of seen this whole scene unfold. It was an interesting one because I know Rena is here, and she's seeing kind of what's her name kind of betray her father, which I'm interested to see how that goes. I really want her to go kind of crazy and start murdering people, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But let's continue. The person looked as vulgar as all the other men. He was wearing a black suit with sunglasses on. He wasn't that big, but his stern look was very intimidating. It was clear at a glance that he was a gangster, and a professional one at that. The man who was behaving badly earlier looked nervous in front of her. As Ritsuko finished paying the check, she noticed the man in the suit. Ooh. I wonder if this turns into... Man in the suit said nothing. He just raised his chin as if saying, "Fuck off." Ritsuko and the others bowed to him and left the shop in a hurry. The proprietor noticed the man in the suit, also greeting him with a bow. Who could he have been? He appeared sedate compared to the other men, but he must be dangerous because he made them even step aside. Everybody in the shop thought the same thing and tried not to look at him. The man in the suit looked around and found the menu on the wall. The proprietor walked up to him hesitantly.
Master. はい。何か部長報がございましたでしょうか。この日替わりデザートのスイートなんとかというのは。いえ、本当は今日はやってないんですが、どうしてもとおっしゃるんでしたら、無理なら無理と言ってくれればいい。出直す。
ほら、葛西。
Okay.
特別にご用意、ここまで来てみっともない。
Okay, the girl seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the heavy atmosphere in the shop. She came in laughing cheerfully. It was Mion Sonozaki's twin sister, Shion. Shion pushed Kasai into the store while he hesitated. She looked at the girl who was sitting down and stopped in her tracks.
あれ？やっぱりそうだ。
Oh no. Oh no. That's a terrible thing to do. Oh no.
レナさんじゃないですか。
Oh no.
こんにちは。しーちゃん？こんなとこで会うなんてびっくりです。
Oh no.
あれ？お一人？ひょっとして誰かお姉かな？いやいや、ひょっとしてケイちゃんかな？しーちゃん、その連れの人は？ん？葛西のこと？まあ、私のボディーガード。命の危険が迫ったら葛西が守ってくれるんだよね。
それがお望みでしたら命に変えてでも。
うわー、葛西、あと20も若かったらやばいかもだね。顔は怖いけど
Shion is still best character. Even if you go crazy in another timeline, or timeline, world line, I guess.
こちらはね、竜宮レナさん。お姉のお友達。
葛西です。よろしく。
葛西さん、さっきすれ違った人たちは知り合いですか？
Good thing they left. I thought they were still like in the room. I didn't realize that they left. That's good. That makes me happy.
誰？私は全然あんなの見たこと。
男は北条哲平。ちょいと礼儀知らずのろくでなしです。
Shion seemed to know who he was once he heard the name Hyojo.
女の人の方は？
間宮里奈。源氏名だと思いました。確か律子って名前だったかと。フラワーロードの店の一つで働いて。
葛西さん、里奈さんとその北条さんはとても仲が良さそうに見えました。
北条は確かリナとは深い仲かと。たちの悪い連中ですので、関わり合いになられない方がいいと思います。
どうたちが悪いんですか？
Is that a new Higurashi sound? Rena paused him or pressed him for the answer, but Kasai seemed to back down a little from that pressure.
女の私生活には触れないのが
どうたちが悪いんですか？
それはご勘弁を。
どうたちが悪いんですか？
Rena kept asking the same question until she got an answer. Shion sensed how desperate Rena was and cut into the conversation.
カサイ、意地悪しないで教えてあげなさいよ。興味本位で聞いてるわけじゃなさそうだしさ。ね、レナさん。
There was tension developing between Rena and Kasai. Shion seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the mood. Kasai finally opened his mouth.
あの二人はたちの悪いろくでなしどもです。恐喝と博打で生計を立ててると聞いています。詐欺行為もやるって話で。
詐欺ってどんな？あいつらの詐欺ってのは結婚詐欺ってやつですか？要するに男の人に言い寄っていい感じになったところで相棒の男が乱入して俺の女に何しやがるって金を巻き上げる古典的恐喝です。
散々貢がされた挙句根こそぎ巻き上げようっていうクズどもです。最近でかい相手を引っ掛けたらしいと噂になっています。
じゃあそりゃあどちら様か存じないけど気の毒なことで。でもまあ鼻の下を伸ばした代償なわけだし。
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do in this situation. You just start murdering people. I
自
understand.
業自得？
Well, the guy is, I guess he get what it's what he did.
そんな言い方はないもんです。男は時にコロッと女に騙されちまうもんですよ。
ほう、何それ。カサイをコロッと騙した女。マスター、デザートは私とカサイとあとレナさんで。
今お帰りになりましたよ。
Rena was already gone. The door, which had just closed, looked as if it was the only thing that knew where she went. When I got home, the door was locked. I used my key to get in, and I found a note in the living room. Something's come up, so I have to go out. Or I have to go. I'm going to eat out tonight, is what the note said. This wasn't the first time he'd done something like this. Each time, he told me he had to go to Okinomiya for something. But I knew the real reason because I heard him talking on the phone once. Rina-san must have had some free time between jobs and asked him out to have dinner together. I heaved a sigh, looked at the new living room I hated, and went to my room. I thought back over what I just heard at the coffee house. I tried to rationalize the meaning of her actions there. Maybe she had to pretend to be a bad person because she was being threatened by the man. But even after the man she called Tae-chan had left the table, she continued to threaten the guys and push them into signing the loan contract immediately. If she was threatened to play along with the man, she wouldn't have done that. If she was pretending to be a bad person, she could have shown a little bit of mercy or sympathy when he left her alone with them. It's like holding water in a bowl you made with your hands. No matter how sturdy you make the bowl, the water would leak from your fingers. Mercy and sympathy leak out from you. But nothing, not even a drop of water, leaked from Rina-san. Her hands weren't even moist. They were all dried up. There was no water that could leak through those hands. Rina-san was threatening those guys as much as the man was. Neither was leading the other along. They were doing it together. That was it. Rina-san is a bad person. My brain cells accepted the idea with applause. After all, I always hated Rina-san. I just couldn't accept the feeling because my father liked her. But at that moment, I could finally accept it. She's a bad person, just like my mother. She's an existence that will ruin everything and destroy my father's happiness just by being with him. But I wonder if my father would understand that Rina-san is a bad person if I told him so. father likes her so much that he would jump over a cliff if she asked him to. He thinks everything she does or says is great, and he interprets everything about her in a positive way. He protects her and praises her without asking him to. Without her asking him to. I'm not a kid anymore. I understand how a woman can tame a man. It's different from love. Love is about trying to build a relationship. Taming is just another way of satisfying the lust to dominate. That is crazy awesome. I like that. She is just trying to make him into her slave. A good way to describe that. Women can deceive men, even my father. They can use dirty methods to ensnare men like they're following a manual. It's the weak point all men are born with. Even with a strong will, they can't resist it. That's why we hate those women who exploit that weak point to deceive men. That's why I couldn't bring myself to like Rina-san. For the sake of argument, let's assume that I acknowledged an unreciprocated love like that. But that would only be as long as it was love. If it wasn't love, it was just another method to threaten and squeeze money out of him. I would never forgive her. I remember their conversation at the coffee house. Rina-san said that my father is a big spender. In fact, I think he spends more money without hesitation than before he met Rina-san. I was happy that he started to regain an interest in going out into the world again, but now I don't know whether I should be happy or not. He controls the money of the Ryugyu family overall, but since I do the grocery shopping, he often gives me his bank book so that I can withdraw the money. Because of that, I know where he keeps his bank book, his personal seal, and other important stuff. They're in one of his drawers, which he usually locks. I know where he hides the key, and I know where the combination of the cash box inside the drawer. He might be coming back soon, so I felt a little nervous. But I had to make sure. I opened the cash box, which had some bank books, personal seals, stamps, and unused postcards. I removed everything, from the cash box to the bank books. Then I found something new. On the bottom of the box there was a bundle of 10,000 yen bills. Its thickness was something I couldn't ignore. There was also a paper wrapper that looked like it had been bundling the bills. Stop clicking the right click, oh my gosh. I hate doing that. For some reason my finger just clicks down on it, I don't know why. The wrapper had a stamp that said it was a bundle of 1,000,000 yen. He usually keeps some cash at home because it was troublesome to go to the bank every time he needed money. But it was usually around 100,000 to 200,000 yen at most. Never kept such a big amount of money at home before, because he knows it's unsafe. The extraordinary amount of 10,000 yen bills was abnormally intimidating. I tried to open the bank book, but my fingers got numb all of a sudden. Part of me was trying to deny the things that I heard at the coffee house. It wasn't because I wanted to defend my father or even Rina-san. It was because I didn't want to believe my father was the husband in Hinamizawa that the blackmailers were talking about. I opened the bank book. The last time I saw it was about 2 or 3 months ago. It shows countless withdrawals since that day. I probably wouldn't normally understand what those numbers meant, but I felt in that moment as if the 10 digits were speaking to me. They were a series of cruel digits. It starts with some understandable expenses that I assume represent dinners or something. But then the amount of money starts to become nice round numbers, like a 5 or a 10. I can tell by looking at the dates he withdrew the money that he wanted to have a certain amount of cash on hand when he went out with Rina-san. Among those expenses, a big number appeared all of a sudden. It was too much money to spend on a date. Hundreds of thousands of yen. I looked at the date of the withdrawal and traced it back in my memory. I remembered. Around that time, Rina-san was talking about moving into a brand new apartment. Or to a new apartment. I know the market rate of rental apartments in Okinomiya. You need to put down 2 safety deposits and 2 payments of key money in order to rent an apartment. Jesus. 2 safety deposits? The amount of withdrawal sounded reasonably low. Maybe I'm just not experienced in buying apartments. But 2 safety deposits? he paid the whole down payment for her new apartment. Plus, like, I don't know. She said something about a key, like buying key money. What that means. After that, big numbers appeared one after another. I could tell they were for congratulatory, gosh darn it, for congratulatory gifts for her new apartment or something. The numbers got bigger and bigger. It looked like at first he was withdrawing only the amount of money needed, but then he started withdrawing big amounts all at once because he knew he was going to use it someday anyway. The change meant only one thing. He lost his sense of the value of money. The balance kept going down, and I started feeling anxious about what's going to happen if he continued spending money like that. But then I saw a deposit of a big amount of money into the account. Where did that money come from? There was only one thing I could think of. I opened the other bank book. It was easy, like a puzzle for kids. It was like playing with an easy jigsaw puzzle that comes with huge pieces that you don't even have to put together to see the whole picture, what the whole picture looks like. My father was using money from his time deposits. In other words, the settlement my mother paid my father when she divorced him. To him, it's cursed money. I'd understand if he wanted to use it to get a new love, but that was just an excuse to use the money from his time deposits. Money is money. Even though it's his divorce alimony, it's important money for our future. Even though it's cursed money to him, it doesn't mean that he can waste it. Big expenses start appearing one after another. There are many expenses upwards of 6 digits. For some reason, I could immediately tell they were for buying electric appliances and furniture. He must have been buying everything she asked him to. If, from the beginning, Rina-san was only seeing to check if he could end up being a big catch, she must have been trying to find out how much money she could squeeze out of him. And my father bought her anything she wanted, no matter how expensive it was. So she probably thinks of him as the perfect catch now. The numbers in front of my bank book told me so. Simple numbers and dates on the bank book had started talking to me. Around the time that he started withdrawing the big amounts of money, Rina-san had started coming to the house. Okay. Spending more and more money out in time. For Rina-san, my father was at first just a guy who spends big money. But around that time, she landed her big catch. My father used to refer to her as my friend Inoki no Miya at first. But he started referring to her as Rina-san around that time. This is partially his fault. But he was betrayed by his beloved wife, and he was feeling hurt and down for a long time. It's also partially my fault. That's why I didn't want to blame him. And he's not that good looking either. There's no way he's immune to women. He must have not been able to resist an attractive lady who aggressively approached him when he was feeling down. He's crazy about Rina-san, and he can see nothing other than her. I can't blame him because Rina-san trained him to be that way. I put the bank books and the other things back into the cash box. This cash box is just like my father's heart. Rina-san is eating up the contents. What should I do? Think, Rena Ryugu. Should I tell him about Rina-san's scheme? No, that probably wouldn't do anything. The whole point of taming an animal is that it won't run away from its owner even when the door is wide open. My father probably won't leave his cage even if I open the door. Should I confront Rina-san about her plot when he's with her? The results would be the same. Rina-san would run behind his back. He'd probably try to protect her. If she pressed her breasts against his back, he'd protect her no matter what. I couldn't make this problem between me and him. First of all, I was trying to get rid of Rina-san for his sake. If we got mad at each other, it would give the advantage to Rina-san. It would be like I was putting myself in her trap. And that meant I couldn't make him do anything. If I couldn't make him break up with Rina-san, I'd have to talk to Rina-san directly. So instead of making my father fight, I'd have to fight in his place. But how? That guy, Kasai-san, who was with Shi-chan today, seemed to know the man Rina-san was with. Wonder if I can somehow meet him again. He looks scary, but I was introduced to him as a friend of Mi-chan. Michan has a lot of power around here. There's no way he would treat me badly. I wondered if he could tell Rina-san and the man to back off my father. That helped me a lot, but I didn't know how I could meet him again. I could ask Michan for help, but I don't want her to know about my situation. This is a problem with the Rigu family. This is nobody's business but mine. Yes, this is a battle that I'd have to fight alone. I regretted my parents' divorce. I wept about the tragedy I could have prevented if I had tried. I wasn't going to weep this time. I wasn't going to let the chance slip away. This time I would fight for my happiness. So far I'm with Rena on this one. Like 100. Me and Rena are 100% on the same page. Let's get Kasai involved. You know, let's talk. We're gonna hit up Rina-san, see what's going on. Bring Kasai. I feel like maybe we should tell somebody, but you know, it's whatever. If she doesn't want to tell anybody, that's cool too. We're gonna read the tips here. See what this is. Dear Ritsuko Mamiya-sama, Executive Housing Corporation. Attached estimate. We thank you for your past visits and inquiries to our office. We've included the estimate for the property you inquired about. Basic information. Property name, Palace of Versailles, room 707. Versailles. Palace of Versailles, room 707, Versailles. 14M1421. Property type, modern condominium. Okay, no idea what any of this means. But she's in Chichiban City, Kawaii Cho 2 Combe. XXX line, Gogura Station, 5 minutes on foot. Cost, wow. I don't know how much that is, but that seems like a lot. No, it can't be a lot. We talked about yen before, but I've completely forgotten. It's 48,800,000 yen, 20,000 yen. I used to be well versed in the Asian currency, but I just kind of like people tell me about it and then I just forget it immediately because it's like I don't really use it at all. I don't really need to know what it is. Like I do with my money. Southeast corner of the room, elevator floor, condominium membership fee included. Or fitness club membership included. Jesus. The area around Gogura Station is a prime real estate zone for luxury condominiums, along with future planned developments. The real estate values in and around Gogura Station are expected to rise, and this property is not an exception. As a result, many prospective buyers are interested in this property. Hence, we'd like for you to understand that the selection process for this property will be done via lottery. Also, we offer celebrity member preferential treatment, granting highly improved chances through additional lottery entries. Please feel free to inquire about or with our agents for more details. Kawabata. Kawabata? That's a pretty good name. Sincerely, Kawabata. I want my name to be Kawabata. That's a good ass name. Kawabata.
Ah, そりゃ多分葛西さんだね。
Oh, you're talking about Kasai-san.
シオンの監視役だよ。監視役な。まあね、シオンのやつ。私と比べ監視役が必要なわけよ。
ミオンもシオンもその意味においちゃ互角だと思うぞ。
Keiichi cut into the conversation. They ended up making a lot of noise, teasing each other like they always do. Mion made it sound like that man, Kasai-san, is some sort of territory boss in Okinomiya. It wouldn't be easy for me to meet him in person. But because he's Shi-chan's watchdog, I might be able to find a way. The problem, though, is that I don't have any connection to Shi-chan either. We hang around every once in a while whenever she comes to Hinamizawa, but I've never called or visited her. I have no idea how we can meet. Even if I could meet Kasai-san, there's no guarantee that he'd help me. He seems like the kind of person who doesn't like to gossip about others. He told me about Rina-san at the coffee house only because Shi-chan pushed him to. Plus, the situation could grow worse very quickly while I waited for the chance to meet him, so any help he might offer could come too late. I remember Kasai-san told me that as her next step, Rina-san usually uses her partner to threaten their catch. That would signify the end of her performance. They were going to take all of my father's money. I wasn't feeling a sense of crisis yet, but that time might be coming very soon. Even as I was at school taking a class peacefully, that man might already be at the house right this moment, threatening my father to hand over his bank books. Once I become anxious, I get more and more anxious. I could feel a big pressure on my chest as if the ceiling had collapsed on me.
いやー、平和すぎて退屈だぜ。
Keiichi-kun talks to me, yawning.
そうかな。レナは平和で退屈なの大好きだよ。
俺はごめん。せめて火星人が襲来するくらいのことが、毎週とは言わないまでにも、月末くらいには欲しいところだぜ。あ、定期テストはなしでだぜ。
もし本当に火星人が攻めてきて、世界中が滅ぼされて、ひなみ沢も焼け野原になるかな。
いや、そこまでは言ってねえよ。何かアクシデントの一つもないと、退屈で溶けちまいそうだぜって言いたかっただけだぜ。
He had no idea what I've been going through, of course, and that's why he says that. But I was still irritated by his insensitivity. I couldn't understand why he wouldn't be satisfied with such a peaceful life. He never has to doubt that today or tomorrow will be as fun as yesterday. I was all too aware that boring and peaceful days could be destroyed all of a sudden. I knew that boring and peaceful days could come to an end all of a sudden because your mom wanted to divorce your dad. I knew that you could feel like you didn't belong anywhere in your own house. Aw, because your dad had gotten a new girlfriend. Even so, you had to repeat the same kind of day over and over again. That's why I wanted to live every day happily in order to be prepared when the world comes to its end.
レナは日々が幸せそうでいいよな。そういうのもスキルなのかな。
そんなの羨ましがられても困るな。
日々を退屈でなく幸せに過ごすのって何かコツでもあるのか？あるなら教えてくれよ。俺も得得してみたいぜ。
そんなの簡単だよ。気づくだけだもん。
気づくって？
There's no way he could realize it. And it's probably better that he didn't, because that meant he was truly happy.
気づくだけだよ。幸せな日々が有限であることに。
Yeah, I feel that one. The three of us walked home from school like we always did. Michan said goodbye to us at the corner of the street where she took her separate way home. She walked away waving, but I chased after her.
みーちゃん。何？
Michan apparently thought she dropped something and she looked around to see what she dropped.
忘れるところだった。実はね、昨日喫茶店でその時にね、笠井さんの落とし物を拾ったの。
Of course, he hadn't dropped anything. I was lying. If I could meet him, I'd just show him whatever, tell him I thought it was his, and apologize for my mistake.
へえ、あ、そう、届けとくよ。それでね、レナが直接返したいの。
Michan looked surprised. I couldn't blame her. I'd met him only once. It's weird to want to give something back in person to someone you barely know.
まあ、そりゃ構わないけど、なんでまた。サングラスにおひげがね、ちょっぴり可愛かったの。はう。
Could I fudge my true intentions with my cute mode? I tried it anyway. Michan usually takes words at their face value, and indeed she seemed to buy it.
口 口ひげを引っこ抜いてお持ち帰りしちゃダメだよ。で、その、どうかな、会える？忙しいのか暇なのか、全然。今度ひなみ沢に来る用事がないか聞いておくよ。
I needed to know when as soon as possible. Of course, I wasn't going to say I wanted to meet him today, but at least tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
なんだよ、お前ら何やってんだ？
レナがね。違うよ、違うよ、
なんだそりゃ、面白そうな話だな。俺も混ぜろ混ぜろ。
I didn't want her to leave it up in the air, so I told her I think I should give it back to him as soon as possible. I'm sure he's looking for it too. Michan said okay twice and walked away waving. I like the narrative take. I don't know if it's just me but it seems like this story is a lot more like narrative, if that makes sense. Like whereas when I was Keiichi or Shion, a lot of it was like dialogue. And there was some internal stuff too. But I think like there's a lot more like this happened and then I will do this and then this happened to this. And I know it's a lot of backstory, but it's interesting. I like it. It's cool. He seems to be in a higher position than Rina-san and his partner. If he agreed to help me, it would be very encouraging. But there is a possibility that he told me he didn't want to interfere in other people's private matters. He could just say the whole thing was another love triangle between a father, a daughter, and his lover.
じゃあな、また明日な。
また明日ね。
I said goodbye to Keiichi-kun, and walked home. I never know what suffix to use, but it tells me, so I should just read. After Keiichi-kun was gone, everything went quiet. My head became clear. What I needed at that moment was quiet time to think about what I should do from then on. I shouldn't depend on Kasai-san to solve my problem. He'd most likely decline my request, so I'll have to think about some alternatives. It's probably better that I just do that. A love triangle between a father, his daughter, and his lover. Those words bothered me because I've seen an unhappy triangle like that before. That sort of thing. It happened to Satoshi-kun. Okay, so we're gonna learn about Satoshi-kun here, and I'm curious as to what Rena knows about it. This is very telling. Satoshi-kun experienced it last year. He fought for his sister in a triangle with his aunt. It was the same situation as mine. I'm trying to protect my father. Satoshi-kun fought alone. Nobody helped him. All I did for him was give him my sympathy and compassion. I didn't think I could do anything more than that. I felt sorry for him, but I didn't really help him out. Irresponsibly, I tried to cheer him up, and I probably told him something that I thought would make him feel better, but that hurt him instead. I recently realized how much I hurt him with my insensitivity because Keiichi just hurt me the same way. I'm going down the same path Satoshi-kun went last year. I feel like I'm experiencing deja vu, an unusual repetition. That would mean I'd be the one who gets demoned away this year? That should be okay. I wasn't thinking about running away from Hinamizawa. Was I? I wasn't thinking about running away from Hinamizawa, but I thought about running away from home many times. That's why I made the place I could escape to in the garbage dump. That dump happened to be in Hinamizawa. But what if it wasn't? Running there would be the same thing as running away from Hinamizawa. I shouldn't think like that. Oshiro-sama will get mad at me. Oshiro-sama is really scary. I saw flickering lights in my head. Oh no. Every time I tried to remember that time, my mind would stop working properly. I remembered the vivid colors of my psychoactive drugs. Flickering lights and clouds started spreading in my head. They were so bright and annoying. Don't try too hard to remember. Don't try too hard to remember. No, no, no. I couldn't stop the flickering lights in my head. I couldn't have that feeling. I had to fill my heart with another feeling. Yeah, there was no time for crazy flickering lights in my head. I had to think about what I should do when Kasai-san declined my request for help. I had to protect my father from Rina-san and that bad man. Wait. Why was I still calling her that? Rina is Rina. Rina. She's a bad person who deceived my father and tried to bring us unhappiness. Bad people who bring bad things into the world without even doing anything. They're different from the other 90% of people who aren't bad. If you let them loose, they'll even ruin the people around them. When you have one bad tangerine in a box, it spreads fungus to the other tangerines around it. That's what bad people are like. I couldn't remember how Satoshi-kun resolved his triangle last year, but I could see the flickering lights in my head. They're still flickering. Still flickering. Still flickering. Still flickering. Still flickering. Just as the swirl of flickering lights were making me dizzy, I saw my house. I also saw Rina-san's scooter parked by the side of the gate. The moment I saw the bike, the flickering lights disappeared and I regained control of myself. Rina-san spent the night last night. She told me she had work in the evening, so she should be leaving soon. But I didn't want to be around her, even for the little while until she left. I said, "I'm home," real loud, rushed into the house and pretended that my friends were waiting outside and rushed out of the house. But Rina-san stopped me.
あら、おかえり、レイナちゃん。
You just call me Reina-chan? The fuck?
あ、こんにちは。
This is the first time I thought Rina-san's smile was ugly. It only stood to reason. I had realized the scheme she was hiding behind that smile.
今日ね、お父さんと一緒にキーマカレーがとっても美味しいお店でね。
My father poked his head out of the living room, and he says, "I want to go there again next time we go. I really like that curry." I wondered if he meant with me next time, or with me and her. Anyway, I hate it when Rina-san says your father.
それで、レトルトをお土産に買ってきたの。後でぜひ食べてみてね。美味しいから。レイナちゃんはこのお店知ってる？
I did know the restaurant she was talking about. I saw it in a magazine. It's a new restaurant that just opened recently. I also remembered that it was an expensive restaurant. The amount of money they spent on the take-home curry alone must have been enough to cover the cost of all our dinners for several nights. Since I was aware of what was in the bank books, it was hard for me to stay calm.
それは楽しみです。ありがとうございますね、リナさん。それでね、レイナ、ちょっとみんなでお話があるんだけど。
What the hell? Does she always call me Reina-chan? I'm about to now that I know that she's evil, that kind of makes me mad. Now I want to punch
ち
her
ょ
in
っ
the
と友
face.
達を待たせてるんで。またゴミ捨て場で宝探しな。レイナちゃんは宝探しが好きね。私もではすみません。失礼します。
Every time Rina-san moved her arms or head, the scent of her perfume struck my nostrils. I hate the smell of her perfume, so I couldn't stay there a second longer. I rushed out of the house and started running to get away from her perfume. The rubber band inside me, the one called Rena, was stretched all the way to its limit. I'm pretty sure I'd explode and go crazy if the rubber band broke. I didn't want to feel like that inside my own house. My house was supposed to be the place where I could open my heart freely. I ran away. I went away from there. I ran farther and farther away from there because it was no longer a place I belonged. It's not that I had a destination in mind, I was just running away. I was running to escape a place where I did belong. Didn't I decide to fight against that woman? Didn't I decide to fight against her either by myself or with my father? But then, once again I saw her fake smile. A chill ran up my back. It was like I picked up a stone, found a carpet of bugs underneath it, and put it back on the ground in a hurry. I rushed out of the house as fast as I could. Did I want to fight or did I want to run away? Was I just choosing to spend a peaceful time at my hideout, believing that tomorrow would be the same as today? I couldn't do that. I didn't know when they'd spring their trap. I couldn't afford to waste any time. I knew that deep down. I knew that, but I just wanted to run away. I couldn't stop myself from running away, and so I did run away. At times like this, the mattress in my hideout would feel so soft. That I knew. Cries of the Higurashi were soothing to the ears. They sounded as soft as my mattress. They were like music. They didn't force any feelings upon me. They cried as if to tell me to just be who I am. It was always so quiet here that I immediately noticed the purr of an engine coming closer. People used to come here all the time to make lots of noise during the dam conflict. But now nobody really comes here. This is a place forgotten. So it was rare to see somebody coming through here at all. I sat on the roof of an abandoned car and waited for the intruder to go away without looking their way. But the purr of the engine stopped. I'm not stupid. If it stopped, I knew exactly who it had to be. I heard the person calling me, but I ignored it once. The person came closer, making it harder for me to ignore her, and she called my name again. I turned around this time.
Rina-san.
Oh, I'm gonna punch several people in the face. I want to punch everybody.
レイナちゃん、結構耳すみません。多分逆風だった。
Seemed to buy my poor excuse. He smiled and said, yeah, it happens sometimes.
一人？お友達は？一人で遊んでますよ。その年でなかなか渋いわね。
Rina-san stretched and looked across the huge garbage dump.
しかし、よくもこれだけ知ってる？昔、平坂の2丁目にもタイヤの外れた車ばっかり積んであるところがあってね。
I wasn't interested in Rina-san's old story, but I pretended to listen and nodded. She doesn't take this road to go back to Yokinomiya. I guess she knew I'd be here and came by to see me. What did she want? It was obvious that she was just trying to make conversation. She probably took it personally when I avoided her earlier, which must be why she was here to butter me up. It would be better for her not to have any conflicts with the daughter of the man she's seeing, no matter the intention of seeing him is. In that sense, it was a reasonable action for her to take. While I listened to her old story, all I could think about was when she was going to leave. Didn't I have to fight against her? Didn't I decide to fight against her? Didn't I find out her plot at the coffee house in Okinomiya? Didn't I find out that his woman is squeezing money out of my father when I looked inside his cash box? I know who you are. Please leave my father alone. How easy would it be if those two sentences could solve the problem? She'd probably deny it. Even if I told her about what I heard at the coffee house, I have no evidence of her plot. If she said it, she did it because of the vulgar man threatening her, there would be nothing that I could do. But I know this woman is a bad person. I know something horrible will happen in the near future if I waste time like this. A strange but tense feeling started coming over me, but I didn't know how to let it out. As the feeling started running high, I became unable to stand the smell of her perfume. I wanted to put a certain distance between me and her, so I climbed down the slope of the scrap heap. I kept going down and down the slopes of the garbage dump. When I turned around, I saw her coming down as well, muttering. Is she following me? In order to run away from her, I started running down the slope all the way to the bottom, went around behind some trash piles, and arrived at the front of my hideout. My escape was meaningless. Not only was she going to catch up with me eventually, all I did was let her know the way to my hideout that nobody is supposed to know about. I wanted to make sure she never saw my precious hideout. I was about to leave, but then she appeared.
へえ、ちょっと素敵よね。秘密基地みたい。私だけの秘密の隠れ家なんですよ。
Oh, dude, I'd go crazy.
ここには誰も来ないし、誰にも何も聞こえません。
This is my secret hideout. Nobody comes here, and nobody can hear us. I felt strange hearing myself say that.
レイナちゃんだけの秘密の嬉しいわね。そんな場所に連れてきてもらえるなんて。
She must have thought I told her about my secret base because she was worth sharing it with. She looked happy. She found the station wagon. She looked inside of it through the window and went all ooh and ah excitedly. It's a secret place that nobody else knows. I felt like my consciousness was separating from my body, like I was floating. I'm so fucking ready, dude. But it didn't feel good. Like when I drink amazake, it was more like being carsick. I felt like I was going to throw up. My brain was probably secreting some chemical in order to avoid facing the reality that I'd have to stay with this woman, that I couldn't run away from her. But even if my brain tried to avoid recognizing it, the reality in front of me wouldn't change.
そうそう、なんでしょう。どうしたの？気分悪いの？いえ、平気です。
I inhaled fresh air and pulled my consciousness back to reality. I didn't feel like throwing up anymore, but I still felt off balance. I leaned on a scrap of garbage to keep my balance.
私はレイナちゃんのこと、レイナちゃんは私のこと好き。何ですか突然。
I said that because I didn't want to say that I like her.
私ね、ずっとあなたのお父さんとお付き合いをしているんだけど、いろいろと話し合ってね。
This lady, man. I don't know. I need to stop feeling like this. Get up, Brenna. I heard something like this before. Part of me was trying to understand what this woman was trying to say, but another part of me was trying not to. I felt as if her words were bouncing around in my head and I started having a headache.
それでね、これからのことをこれからの生活やいろいろよ。
What?
レイナも秋人おじさんのこと好きでしょ。それでね、お母さん。
What's going on? Mother? What are you thinking about, Renariga? This is an important moment. You're about to have a one-on-one battle with Rina-san. No, Mom, what about my dad? What about me? I don't want you to divorce him. I don't want you to get remarried to anybody else. No, please don't divorce him. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you get remarried.
再婚なんて許さないです。
We gotta end it right there. We gotta end it right there. That is the best cliffhanger. It's 48 minutes. Oh my goodness. If I don't end it here, I'm going to go crazy because I'm gonna have to play for another like 30 minutes because it's like shit's gonna go down right here. This is the mark. So real quick, if you are done watching, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. Also subscribe. We'll be continuing this next one, obviously, whenever I get the chance. So maybe tomorrow or the next day or whenever. I hope to see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. So real quick, I just have to talk. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is crazy. We're finally gonna get to see. I'm almost super happy that we're gonna get to see Rena just go off here. Now this also brings up a good question or a good kind of argument, right? So the argument that they're presenting here is that Rena's going crazy because of the misfortunes that have present her. Like you can only take so much trauma and bottle it up alone, or you go crazy. And it just happens. So unless you like cry about it for a little bit or You know, sometimes it's good to just like sit and cry, but it sounds like Rena's just been dealing with it. She's been going crazy. And they're trying to pin Oyashiro-sama on Rena being crazy, and I can't buy it. And the only reason I still cannot buy the crazy theory is because of the shit that I've seen. Um, like you can't like, and we talked about this at nauseum. I feel like, but if you look at Shion hearing the thumping, but no one else hears the thumping besides Tomitaki and her, and then the other two don't hear it. Why? That shouldn't be the case, unless we're talking about all people that are crazy or that have the possibility of going crazy can hear things. But then why is Tomitaki like that? We've never seen him like the side of him that goes crazy. Then we have soothsayer assassin Rika, who just like can tell the future and has combat skills with a syringe that is somehow goes to what's her name's house, and nobody knows about assassin soothsayer Rika except for Akasaka and Shion in that one story. So it just doesn't make sense why Rika is like that unless there's some supernatural shit going on. Because I don't believe that that's anything but supernatural. Going forward, I do believe Ren is probably crazy though. I originally it was my thought that she was maybe a demon, but after seeing the story, I can see how she would just be crazy. Um, like I said though, I can't believe that she is the sole proprietor of Oyashiro-sama just because now I'm seeing that she's just going crazy. Now I wonder what this does to if she. I wonder if she's gonna kill her here or like what's going on, and how that affects her relationship with everybody else. I have no idea. I have no idea. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. I'm excited and also nervous at the same time because I feel like my theory that Rena was the cause of everything is not correct now. So that means someone else has to be the cause of everything, right? Um, who? Who is that? And it seems like the Hyojo, like Tepe is being a dick. I know he was a dick in like the previous ones. Like when is he not a dick, right? But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I didn't realize he was. I thought he was just rude to his children, you know, which is like one that sucks. Like he's physically violent with his children. He's making his children do everything. He's a terrible person for that. But I didn't know he was also like a terrible person to like other people as well. I thought that maybe he was just one of those people that thought that he could do whatever he wanted to his family, and like that was like his thing. But now it's seeming like he's just a dick in general to everybody, except for well, no, because he's like a pimp. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and shut up before this ends up going over the hour anyway. I appreciate you all watching and staying along with me. We're gonna continue this next time, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, you guys.